Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading for December as a bonus reading for the element of Earth. Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have Earth high up in your charts, then this message is for you. If you've never had your charts read, and it's not a sponsored thing or anything, it's just a really interesting tool I like, there is a link in the description to a natal chart by Llewellyn, and it's a really good base level, gives you the general idea of the 12 houses, what all the little signs and symbols are, and then there is a 10 to 20 page, depending on what's all there, description of what that all stands for, means, how it applies. So it's kind of a fun way to get a little inner glimpse into your subconscious in a lot of ways. With that, I'm just shuffling and pulling cards right now. I use the Celtic Cross for our bonus readings. I think it's a good way just to kind of give us a general overview of what's going on in the moment. And then we'll pull some oracle cards at the end. If you see, sense, or feel something different from the cards, because I read intuitively, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. You never know, might help someone with their journey as well. And with that, we'll get started with your first card on my very small desk, which is the Five of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy, and the Five of Pentacles, the significator is where you are in this moment. Earth, I get this feeling that you kind of feel like you're wandering through a fog bank. Like you have support, you've got people around you, friends, family, coworkers, but you're not really sure what direction to go. You're kind of spinning your wheels right now. And the universe is saying this is a good time of mystery. It's a time of the unknown coming forward, but that also means that you have the unique gift right now of getting to choose how things play out or what you choose to add into your world. So in this moment, this little snapshot of time where you stand right now, you may not know what's coming next, which is fine, but you at least have the support around you so that you guys can deal with whatever is coming up as you go forward. So the energy that's crossing you, this could be a obstacle, a challenge, something that maybe just needs to be overcome a little bit, in this case a lot, is the Three of Swords. Swords are air energy. This is your polar opposite. And the Three of Swords is like heartbreak. It's backstab. It is something that led to your trust being broken. So this is something that the universe is saying, this is being brought forward to deal with it. It could be something from, recently, or it could be something you've been carrying with you for a while. But in this moment, the universe is saying, this is time to release this. It's time to let it go. That is could be what's causing the fog with where you're standing right now, is this situation that happened before that it's time to really process it through. They're not showing that it's happening in the moment, so that's a good thing. It's something that's happened in the past, but it's something that has held meaning for you, and it's the universe saying you're not going to forget the lesson from it, but maybe not carry the emotion with it, because that's the part that they're saying is not really benefiting at this point. So it's time to start to look to how would you process this out? Would it be going to talk to a therapist or a counselor? Is it maybe doing some prayer and journaling? That's up to you as how to deal with it, but they're saying it's time to let it go because it's not serving you. And that's the point of this type of energy, is to bring forward what needs to be let go, because you don't need it anymore, basically. Your higher self influence is the Page of Wands. So your higher self is really bringing up this energy, because the page is kind of an apprentice, we'll call him. And with this energy, the higher self is wanting you to know you have gained a great deal of skills. You're out of the school aspect of things, and now it's time to put it into practice. Now, are you gonna be perfect? No, because it's practice. So the energy that you're getting right now is, how are you going to practice your experiences, your life, your gifts, your talents. It could be work, it could be a crafting thing you're building, it could be even in a relationship. Because a lot of that is, you can read all the books, you can Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, you can read all of that stuff. But until you actually put it into practice, it doesn't really mean anything. And your higher self is saying, Earth, you've done all this work, you've built it this far. Now it's time to actually use the knowledge that you have gained, which may be a little uncomfortable, but that's what they're wanting to say is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Your higher self is saying, this is that apprentice stage where you get to make the mistakes and heal along the way. And as you do that, you can tweak things and actually make it very orderly, abundant, prosperous, etc. So you're in the right path. It's just maybe not the way you expect it to be. Your shadow self, interesting that your shadow and your higher self are both wands. It's the Nine of Wands. Wands are fire, passion, creation. And so with the Nine of Wands, it's really saying your shadow wants you to understand you've already done a lot of this work. Look at how much you've accomplished. Like, this is all your trophies, basically. And it's wanting you to understand you're not failing. It might feel like that because of you feel like you're just starting over, or you may have to deal with that situation and you don't want to because you feel like that was a failure or a regret. Your shadow's saying, why are you focusing on it like that? You've achieved so much more. So your shadow's actually trying to be very supportive is what I'm getting right now, because you've already done all that. You've achieved a great deal here, Earth, and it's not necessary to keep carrying that regret, the shame, the anger, whatever it is that's coming up with that Three of Swords energy. It's not helping you. You have passion. You have this creative drive, even if it's just to create a household or to create a really awesome work environment. Whatever it is, you have all of this here. But it's like you have, like with the Christmas Carol, the guy's toting around his boxes and chains. It's kind of that feeling where, throw it off. It's no longer needed. And your shadow just really wants to say, look at the things you've done. Look at how far you've come. They keep going back to, why worry about this one thing? And it might have been a big thing, don't get me wrong. But in the moment now, it's no longer serving a purpose other than baggage. So there's some of that going on. Your immediate past, last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, we have the Sire of Pentacles. I believe that would mean, I think you're actually in the same energy as the other one. But with the Sire of Pentacles, there's this energy of teaching. But you're not teaching from a place of lack of knowledge, because this is your energy, is what I'm being shown. So you have this. You've succeeded in this. But you're teaching the next generation. You're teaching your subordinate at work. But I'm also getting this impression right now that you're teaching how you're interacting with all these situations, all this energy that's coming up. If you have a child at home, that's who this could be, or it could be a subordinate at work. But they're really saying you're the influence here, and you're showing them how to live, how to exist. And in your past 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you've done a really good job of this. You've actually shown how you've overcome things, your shadow agrees, because you had success in that response. And you've got all these other things that you're doing. They're just wanting, and that's really actually positive. They're not even giving negative with that. It's, look at what you've accomplished. And even in the short period of the last month, the last 6 months, you've come so far, and it's because of your influence. People are being drawn to you. That's why you have the support system here, even when there's that foggy, I'm not sure what I'm doing energy. Because of how you've lived your life before this, you've acquired this group of people, which is really actually great for you. Your immediate future, 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is number 6, the Lovers. This is a union of opposites cards. And in this card, it's fire and water. But it could be earth and air. So whatever's coming forward in the future here for you, in the immediate future, 1 month, 6 months, or a year, there's a coming together that's happening. It could be a romantic relationship, or it could be just that one piece that you needed at work is going to fall into place, and it's all going to make sense, and it's all going to work really well. This is the energy that's coming up here. So your future is looking really bright because you've acknowledged that you've had the successes. You have processed through whatever your obstacle is, this Three of Swords energy that you've had to, that's being brought up right now, not had to, but the energy is being brought up. And when you process that, whatever it is, it's going to actually open the door to a great deal of joy and peace. It could be as much as abundance and prosperity, but what they're really wanting you to focus on is the joy and the peace going forward. So this next little period of time, it's definitely looking up for our Earth family. And your history is really good. So overall, before we get into the sidebar here, you have a lot of positivity in this reading, which is great. So let's see what your inner world is, which this is your thoughts, perceptions, how you're kind of feeling inside. It's the Six of Swords. Again, that air energy. So this is something that is challenging you, something that is pushing back on you a little bit. And with this energy, this is the way the air shows up for Earth. But with this one, it's you're flying above. You've already dealt with the problem. And that's, again, you're getting into this, you're teaching the next generation thing, you're living by the example, but you're showing that you've already conquered things. You've had, in this instance, 6 battles, but you're leading the charge away because the battle's won. The battlefield is just picking up the pieces at this point. So you don't have to go back to that. And so in your inner world, it's really even your inner world is saying, you've already overcome things. You don't need to go back to these other times because you know that people are watching. Your child is watching, whatever it is. And they're going to take how you respond and they're going to mimic that. That's not always the most comfortable thing, by the way. Having somebody looking up to you like that, whether it's a coworker or a subordinate at work, whether it's a child, whether it's someone you're training, having people look up to you in that respect is always a little daunting. But with air swords coming in, you have the knowledge to actually show them the right way. And it's because you've already conquered other things. And that's interesting. They're showing me like, yeah, Earth, they don't do anything easy. It's got to be the school of hard knocks, and that's why they have their knowledge the hard-won way. But because of that, you can help the next person you're working with dodge the same pitfalls because you've already fallen in those holes. Like, don't go over there. That's just a bad idea. So you have a unique perspective, Earth, is what I'm seeing. And that's actually going to work in your benefit. That's leading to this awesome future, this lover's future. So you're definitely heading in the right direction, even though it may feel that that's not the case. You have a lot of contrarian energy going on here, Earth. I'm sorry. Your environment, the outside world, things outside of your control, is the Seven of Swords. There is a little bit of a jealousy thing coming in. You got someone who's, this little dude here, is trying to steal your glory type of a thing. Like, oh, Earth just cannot possibly have done all of this before. And they need to give me some because that's the energy that's coming up. So the outside world is really, you've got at least one energy, one person, possibly two, that is kind of being a little bit of a, we'll call him not the greatest person. So be aware of that in the outside world. These are things outside of your control. But if you are really sticking close to your truth here, holding on to your truth, and you're working with your guides and guardians, God Source, that person's going to eventually fade away because they just don't have the ability to stay with it. I mean, look at the size comparison here. This is you. You're big and strong and weathered. This person over here is not that strong. They're not that ready. So it's not like this is a huge issue for you. It's more of a tapping you on the shoulder, be like, pay attention. There's something here that's not quite right. So your hopes and fears, I feel like you have a lot of sixes too. We have is the Six of Cups. Your hope is success. This is where you're hoping to be. Rising above all of the problems, rising above all the chaos, and actually being able to grow what it is you're building. Whether it's a business, your home life, a partnership, having kids, whatever. Your hope is that expansion. Your fear is the loss of that. And how you play this out is really up to you, is what I'm hearing. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on the correct things. You're doing the inner work. You are journaling, you're processing, you're talking to a counselor, you're allowing your inner world to mend and heal, because you're focusing on the growth, you're focusing on the abundance, you're focusing on connecting to God's source, you're acknowledging your shadow and really seeing what is being brought forward. Your shadow is not something to be scared of. Your shadow is literally where you hide everything that you don't want to deal with. But as you have grown, that a lot of that stuff's coming forward because you're ready to process it now. And that's why it's always good to do a little bit of shadow work when you're in a growth period. And that's what we're seeing here, is it's a growth period. Your shadow is very happy with where you're at because you've grown a lot. But that also means that you're going to start having some of these past issues pop forward to be healed and processed, to get them out of your shadow and actually reintegrate the whole of who you are. And on that, we'll look at your outcome here. Again, with the swords, we have the Knight of Swords, which is a very active card. The Knight of Swords as your outcome is really saying there may be some chaos swirling around what you're doing, but you have the knowledge, you have the ability to be able to process this. And again, this is general reading, so there's not a specific area of life with this. It is literally the energy surrounding the situation. But there's a lot of chaos. You don't need to worry about that, because when you try to fight the chaos, that's when you get your bumps and bruises. So Earth, this is one of those times where if it doesn't look like you need to be involved, don't get involved. And it's also saying maybe this is not the time for outward work. If the world's chaotic and you know that that's maybe not the best idea to make big decisions or outward decisions, look inside, because your inner world is going to show you so many more things. And a lot of the times when you start to meditate inwardly to understand what else could be going on, what could the situation be teaching, when you start to look at it from that perspective, it allows you to actually see the doorway to get out of the chaos. Again, it's a weird experience when that does happen. And I say when, it's not if, because it does happen. But when you're looking at it from that side of things and you see that doorway, you'll fit, because the door's made specifically for you. And when you do go through it, you notice what you're leaving behind, because you'll end up casting off a lot of things, because there's no point in having them anymore. They can stay in that chaos and you're going to walk away from the chaos. So overall, you have a very strong growth month, but you've got a lot of encouragement here. There's all this, you've done this before, you've overcome this, you have all of these other things lined up. You're going to end up in the lover situation, which is, like I said, it could be a relationship, or it could be just the deepening of a connection, things going well, positivity, abundance, joy, peace. This is where you're headed. This is your immediate future. And the outcome is really saying you're going to eventually walk away from the chaos, because the chaos is not serving you anymore and you don't want it. So you're able to move beyond it really actually easy, is what I'm hearing. So with that, we'll hop into the Oracle. Like, comment, and subscribe if you are interested. With the Oracle cards, what I like to do is we'll pull 3 cards. Each one will pause beforehand. If you have a specific question, you can ask that and see if the cards answer. Otherwise, we'll just see what they bring forward. It could be filling in the blanks from the reading, or it could be a different message altogether. And, I like this card. Your first card is number 44, and the title is Vacation. Earth, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take time for yourself. Self-care is just as valid as making sure that whatever's going on at work is handled, making sure that the silverware is polished, or the glasses don't have smudges, or making sure those shirts are ironed, or making sure that one email document was sent out. That's important, but so is taking care of yourself. Remember to take the time, whether it's a one-day vacation where you're just going to go to a spa, or even just stay home and take a bath and, chill. Take the time to take care of yourself. And the vacation can be a physical one, going somewhere, or a mental one where you curl up with that dirty little secret novel that no one wants to talk about or admit to their reading, and you just want to sit and enjoy your novel. And it doesn't matter if it's a romance novel or not, because there's a lot of them that people are like, it's like my guilty pleasure. Enjoy your guilty pleasure for the day. It's great. But do something that is a vacation. Check out from reality for a little while and just enjoy that peace. So your second card is number 19, and the title is Understanding. You have a deeper understanding of yourself by the end of this year. This month is actually revealing that to you. You may not have realized how far you've come this year, but this understanding is saying you don't have to ask a lot of the questions about yourself anymore. You don't have to ask a lot of the questions about, did I do the right thing? Because you kind of already know. And that's why she's giving you kind of that sly side eyes. Earth, you already know this. I don't have to repeat it. So you know that you've accomplished a lot. And with all the kind of gentle energy that's coming with this card, it's saying trust your intuition, trust your instincts, trust your knowing. You've already done a lot. You've achieved a great deal, and now you're really ready to move into the next phase, which is awesome for you. And your last card is number 41, Energy. This is also has a little bit of Leo energy, bringing in that fire again. This is really your support system. Your support system is your passion, your creation. And with the Leo type energy, the lion, it's also a leadership energy, which again comes up in this reading a lot because you're teaching, you're showing by example. But your leadership is what's going to carry you. Your leadership is what's going to make you shine. This month, Earth, is really about you stepping into the fullness of you. And sometimes you have to let things go for that to happen. But really, you're in the right spot, in the right time, in the right mind frame to really be able to do this month. The universe is lining things up. Your shadow and your higher self, weirdly enough, are in agreement on this. Now it's time to put it into practice. What have you learned? What do you need to overcome? And where are you headed in the future once you acknowledge and deal with the challenge? A lot of times your challenges, when they're drug into the light of day, which that's usually how it has to happen, they evaporate because they can't be in the light of truth. And that's where this reading is calling you to do, is drag it into the light of day. Make it get into the sunlight, and watch how fast it really disappears when you look at it from that perspective. So with that, I will let you guys and gals go. I hope you have a great, safe, and fun month of December, and I will see you all in the next video.